Greetings everyone and welcome back. This is Marco and this is my yearly video to update you on my, vintage lens and cameras collection. Now, as I always say, strictly speaking, I am not a collector because I buy lenses, I try them out, I review them, and then if I don't use them or I don't need them, I just resell them. In fact, I would say most of the items that I have reviewed this past 2021, I've actually sold, so they're not here on display. But I did keep a few of them, plus here on the table there are some that you have not seen yet here on the channel, but those of you who follow me on Instagram might have had a preview of. Also forgive the janky shadows and lighting, I'm doing what I can with what I have. Now let's begin on the left here with some vintage cameras. Actually, you already know all of them except this one. This is a Canon point and shoot camera that I have inherited from my grandma, and I still have to shoot a couple pictures. It has a loaded roll of film, but I don't even know if I will have her shoot the last couple pictures, but yeah. This is the Kloster C63, same as last year. This is my father's Konica C35V. Again, nothing has changed, I haven't shot it. I kinda like it, it's small, cute and all of that, but I also don't like using it, so it's just staying on a shelf for now. Olympus AF10 Mini, doesn't really work. Konica Pop Super Bright Red, first camera I ever shot. And for the big guys, this is the only one I have left. I have sold my Konica Autoreflex TC and my Yashica FX 3000 because I wasn't using them. Honestly, I haven't used this Praktica either, but I have many M42 lenses and I'm planning to shoot a few rolls of film next year. As for the lens is the Pentax 50mm 1.8 that we all know and love. Talking about M42 mount, let's go to the Soviet and East German lenses, starting with the other Pentax lens, the 29mm 2.8. Lovely lens, the edges are a bit too soft, but it's a nice complementary lens. It's a nice addition to my Pentax kit. Then we have my smallest lens, the Industar 50-2. Haven't used it this year because I'm planning to shoot a couple videos with it, but I haven't come around to actually do it. Mir 1V 37mm 2.8. As always, this is in such perfect conditions that I don't even know if I want actually to sell it, but eventually I will. I know I eventually will sell it. Then we have not one, but two Helios lenses. I actually had a third one, which I have bought and sold in like 2 weeks, because it was another M44 M4, and I didn't need two of them. You already know why I have two of these. You should have seen my last video about these two lenses, but yeah, 44 M4 and 44 M. I kinda prefer the M4, but yeah, again, these will be sold sooner or later. And last in the M42 Soviet mount lenses, we have the Zenit 500mm mirror lens, specifically MC3M5CA. Interesting lens. I've always been fascinated by mirror lenses. It's not really that heavy, mounts really solidly on the camera, but it's a bit impractical to use. I don't know yet if I'm gonna keep it or sell it. And now let's move to a fan favorite. Everybody seems to love these lenses in the last few years, and I've been lucky enough to snag a few of them at reasonable prices, starting from the 28mm 2.8, we are talking about Canon FD lenses. Focus, okay. Canon FD 28 2.8. Really love it. Really lightweight, compact, easy to use. Very nice lens. And all Canon FD lenses are quite modern. They don't have that super vintagey look, but they are, you know, a bit less contrasty than modern lenses, and I just like them. Then we have the 50mm 1.8, again, you've already seen the review, and some new additions to the Canon FD set. We have this very interesting 50mm 1.4 SSC. This is my first 1.4 vintage lens. I have a modern 1.4 lens, and there's a lot of difference between the NFD and the old SSC version. You're gonna see more about this lens. Review is coming, comparisons are coming, so stick around. Then we have the 135mm 3.5, again NFD. I'm trying it out. I still haven't played around with it too much, can't really say, but again, review will follow. And last of the FDs is the 300mm lens. This is very long, but lightweight. Interesting. It's an interesting lens. It doesn't have a very distinctive look, but it's fun. It's fun to play around with this lens. Again, review coming soon. After the Canon FD, let's move to another of the kits that I'm trying to build, the Aries Pentax M SMC kit, starting with the 50mm 1.7, really lovely lens, and the 135mm 3.5, there we go, again really lovely lens, and 3.5 maximum aperture is actually plenty enough on a 135mm lens. And I really love this little guy because it's small, lightweight, compact, really easy to use, and you know that I love the image quality and colors, warm colors of the Aries Pentax M series. We have two newcomers. One is the Takumar Bayonet 135mm 2.5, very similar in many ways to the Aries 3.5, but also different, and can't wait to try it out. And one lens that I was actually looking for in this kit, which is the 200mm f4 Aries Pentax SMC. Perfect conditions, very clean, very nice. Again, can't wait to try it out. And now let's move to the last kit that I'm trying to build, the Konica Xenon AR. And let's start with the newcomer, the 28mm 3.5. Just like the Aries Pentax line, I was missing a wide, and here it is. It's 3.5, not 2.8, but you know, I found this one and I got it. Then we have all the ones that you already know about, the 40mm 1.8 pancake, the 50mm 1.7, then we have the big boy, the 135mm 2.5. Look at that massive front element, very nice lens. Then we have two more lenses for the Konica AR mount that are not Konica lenses. One is the Tokina RMC 135mm 2.8, and some time ago a viewer commented that RMC stays for Rainbow Multi-Coated. Funny name, but I really like it. I haven't used it much lately, but I really like the pastel colors and the softness of this lens. And the other Konica AR mount lens that is not a Konica is the Sigma 35-70 2.8 to 4. I shot it this year on the Autoreflex TC on the film camera, and it is so sharp, so clean. It does swirl in the backgrounds, but you know, I have other lenses, other zoom lenses, modern zoom lenses that I use because I need autofocus and all of that. So this is actually, I'm gonna sell it. Let's be honest. I don't want it to stay on a shelf to collect dust, so I'm gonna sell it. But it's a very, very, very good lens. And then we have a few oddballs here on the right. First of all, I set on the side one adapter to remind me that I still have the Yashica 28mm DSB, which is not here right now because I have lent it to a friend who's trying it out. So Yashica DSB 28mm. Then we have the Konica 28mm 2.8 for Pentax, which is really nice. It's damaged on the outside and wouldn't need to be re-greased, but it's a very, very nice lens, and I'm keeping it because it matches very well with the Asahi Pentax. Has the same warm tones and same image quality, but it's just not an Asahi. So I'm holding on to it until I find Asahi Pentax 28mm. Same goes for the Soligor. It's a bit less warm than the Konica and more contrasty, but again, it's a great wide angle in this case for my Pentax system. Here's another lens you haven't seen. It's an Olympus 50mm 1.8. I've been told many times to try Olympus lenses, and I eventually bought this one, but it has a lot of fungus. I don't think you can see it right now, but I need to have it cleaned and see if it's still usable. But yeah, my first Olympus lens, yay! And finally, the last lens for today, one that you probably have never heard about. It's the Sumtar 35mm? Well, yeah, 35mm 2.8, which is broken. The aperture doesn't work, so I don't know. I want to modify it, I want to do something with it. I don't know what yet, but it's there. So, there we go. This is the updated collection of vintage lenses and cameras. Honestly, I don't have any more to add to that, so thank you for watching. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know how many vintage lenses you have. See ya, bye bye!